Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
See, mic check, 1, 2, we on. Holla if you hear me. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let me go. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 99th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. And let me make sure that my volume, I think my audio's good. If my audio's not good, let me know in the chat and I'll fix it, do what I got to do to make modifications. But right now, I think I'm sounding crisp. Right now, I think I sound good. All right, so real quick, down below my socials, follow me. AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. Tell a friend to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. But we are here for the 99th episode of Trippin with Theobold. Yeah, so as you guys can see, I'm in this futuristic lab. You know, we're going to talk about funny social media behavior. But before I do that, you know, I got to take care of some housekeeping. You know, as you guys know, I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. And today, well, not today, but every episode I do, you know, I like to tie an episode to a Buffalo Bill of past or present. So today's episode is tied to none other than Mr. Marcell Dareus himself. Marcell Dareus, man. You guys know anything about football? Forgot. Okay, why did my audio go out? Okay, mic check, 1, 2. That's weird. I'm looking at my levels. If my volume goes out, let me know. But I think I'm good. That was weird how my audio just dropped. But anyways, now Marcell Dareus, number 99 from the Buffalo Bills, played for the University of Alabama. He got picked up in the I forgot the year he got drafted. I think it was 2000, and I forgot the year. It's like 2009 maybe. Anyways, he came out in the year, or he came out in the same draft as Cam Newton and Von Miller, right? Because, you know, the Carolina Panthers had the first overall pick. Then it was the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. And it's funny how, you know, these drafts, well, let's see if I can cuss yet. No, I can't cuss yet. It's not the 4-minute mark. But these drafts are funny because we got Von Miller now, and Von Miller was the number 2 overall pick in that draft, and we got Marcell Dareus. Marcell Dareus is no longer with the team. I believe he was last on the Jaguars. I think he's a free agent now. So anyways, no, Marcell Dareus was a nose tackle or defensive lineman, great defensive lineman. We had expected big things out of him. I wouldn't say he was a bust. I mean, you could say he was a bust, but to me, I thought he was dope. You know, I just don't know. I think there may have been some disciplinary things or some gripes with the ownership in him. I don't know, but every time he got on the field, he produced. You know, I'm not sure why he didn't stick around. But today's episode is tied to number 99, Marcell Dareus, former Buffalo Bill. So, to keep things pushing, we are going to do, as you guys know, I like to do I got to do my tongue twisties, right? I got to do my tongue twist. I got to make sure that the brain and my tongue are coordinated so there'll be less trippage during the show, you know, because we can't eliminate tripping, but, you know, we can minimize it, you know, or keep it at a minimum. So we're going to go ahead and do these tongue twisties. So you can either, like I said, you can either read along with me or watch me struggle. So here we go. So today's tongue twisty is is tied to the letter F, right? Because F is the 6th letter in the alphabet. I'm going to trip myself up here because I'm looking at myself on delay right now. I'm not listening to myself on delay, but I'm watching myself on delay. So I'm like moving, and then 5 seconds later I move. So anywho, let me go ahead and just get to it. All right. So F. So like I said, you guys can read along with me, or you can watch me struggle. Choice is yours. You always have a choice to do whatever you want to do in life. So here we go. Number 1, freckle-faced Freddy Fidget. I messed that one up. Let me try that again. I messed that one all up. Here we go. Freckle-faced Freddy Fidgets. Freckle-faced Freddy Fidgets. Freckle-faced Freddy Fidget. Well, these are tough. Damn. The fickle finger of fate flips fat frogs flat. The fickle finger of fate flips flat frogs flat. I said flat frog flat. The fickle finger of fate flips fat frogs flat. Francis fries fresh fish fillets. Francis fries fresh fish fillets. Francis fries fresh fish fillets. Flat flying fish fly faster than flat flying fleas. Flat flying fish fly faster than flat flying fleas. Flat flying fish fly faster than flat flying fleas. Fran feeds fish fresh fish food. Fran feeds fish fresh fish food. One more again, last time. Fran feeds fish fresh fish food. And yay, we are done with the tongue twisties. Got that out the way. Now I feel homogenized. I don't know if that's even the right word to use. I feel synchronized. Right? I'm in sync. The body and soul has become one. Like the Last Dragon. Remember that shit? Last Dragon? Okay, cool. All right, I lost y'all. All right, what else we got going on, man? So we did that. Want to do some quick promotion right quick. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed and the Root Work style. I'm a big fan of the Root Work deodorant. You know, I'm on my 3rd deodorant. You know, I gotta re-up on that vanilla. That vanilla scent is very good. You know, so I'm loving the Root Work. Like, I was looking for a good deodorant with a good scent, and this is it. You know, I can't wait for the holiday seasons to come up, because that's when he's gonna break out the blueberry and I think either blueberry or like lavender or lavender. I forgot, but I'm gonna definitely be up on those scents so I can stay smelling fresh. What else, man, do I want to promote right quick? Oh yeah, man, shout out to one of my comedian bros, mentors, man, Mr. Moranzio Vance, man. If you guys have the opportunity, man, go to his channel and check out his work, man. He has a dope podcast called Just Killing Time, man. Definitely go check that out, man. It's called Just Killing Time. He's a real creative dude. Like, the way the podcast is shot, it's not like any other podcast, man. It's like, go check it out. I think when he first started doing it, it's like he was talking to a wall, and that's funny, you know, like just watching somebody talk to a wall. And now it's more like a free form kind of, like, I don't want to say a stand up, but it's like he has like a stand up kind of set. But nah, it's a dope podcast, man. And I didn't realize that he was that, you know, it's always interesting to hear other people's, like, you know, point of view when it comes to the comedy game. You know, like, he was dropping gems, and he was saying what he's not gonna do, and I agree with him. Like, everything he said, I felt, you know. So nah, go check out his podcast, go check out his channel, man. He has dope content, hilarious comedian. I mean, this dude is brilliant, man. Go check him out. And then what else, man? Oh yeah, I got my task book right here. You know, yeah, got my task book right here. Conquering tasks daily, right? So I think last episode or last week I told y'all that I had I got my whiteboard up here right now, and on my whiteboard, like, I write down my I'm very task oriented, right? I like to look at what my goal is, and then look at the steps that are needed to achieve the goal, write them down and work backwards, and then just plow through the goals, right? So in the past on my whiteboard, I would write down my goals, and I would try to say, you know what, if I can get 10 things done a day, you know, I made progress, right? So I was doing that, writing down my 10 goals, or whatever, crossing them off, and to wipe off the board, and I would start over the next day. But something funny happened, right? Like something funny happened. What happened was my computer's doing something stupid right now. Sorry for that glitch. But now I was writing my stuff down, and I was wiping off the board. And then as time went on, I just found that I don't want to say my motivation was killed or died off. It was more of when you just are wiping off goals that you get done every day and you can't look back. Because look, there are gonna be some days when you look back and you're gonna need that motivation to be like, damn, yeah, I came this far. Shit, I knocked out 10 goals a day for the past like 50, 60 days. I can do it again for, like, you know, it's that seeing that visual, you know. And as I was writing stuff on my whiteboard and wiping it off, you know, there were days where I was like, man, I don't feel like doing shit, you know. But then I was like, you know what? And I noticed that I was like, you know, I wasn't getting as many things done. So I said, you know, I got to go back to the old school way of doing things. I said, let me go ahead and get my task notebook out, and I just write down things I got to get done for the day, and I cross them off. And whenever I have them days where I feel like, you know, I don't feel like doing shit, I just go back and I'm like, man, I did 8 things on this day, 10 things on this day, 30 things. I mean, I did 10 things on that day. I'm like, man, let me go ahead and keep adding to this list. You know what I mean? So I don't know why. I just felt like I had to share that with y'all. So I did. And then real quick, man, I got a comment. Let me see who's commenting on little old me right quick. Let me see who's commenting on me right quick. Chrome City. Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, we got Chrome City Records in the building. My man Mark Lotus, aka it's the Mark. For those that don't know, Mark was the one that did my intro outro beat, man. You know, dope job, man. This jingle's in my head now, Mark. See what you done started? I got the jingle in my head, man. Real catchy. So man, shout out to Mark again, man, for hooking me up with the jingle, my intro music and my outro music. So who else has just joined in? Hey, what's up, babe? Yeah, thank God it is Friday. It is Friday. So oh yeah, something random too. So today I had to go to Orange County to go to my dentist. You know, I had to get my cleaning done. Hey man, shout out to my dentist, man. You know, or the dental hygienist that worked on me today. She was cool, man. Like, you know, like basically, like, you guys know, when you go get your teeth cleaned or whatever, you know, you got certain spots that are like sensitive, you know. And I got like a couple sensitive spots where my gums, you know, are receding from my teeth or whatever, and that nerve is exposed, you know. So like, she told me that, like, you know, do you have any sensitive areas? I was like, yeah, right here, or whatever. And then she was like, if you want, I can put the numbing gel on it. And she put the numbing gel on there, and it waited a few minutes, and she went in there and was just cleaning the joint up. I didn't feel no pain, no nothing, no whatever. So I'm feeling good, got my teeth clean without, you know, having to worry about all that. Cause, you know, when you get your teeth clean, man, it's always like, thing I hate is where they go to that sensitive spot and they kind of dance around it, and then they move on, and you're like, okay, good, we done. But then they come back to that spot. I'm like, yo, man, will you just do what you got to do to that tooth and then move on? But whatever. Now I had a good cleaning today. But when I was down there, I stopped in the Target, and I saw Quentin Johnston. If you don't know who he is the wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers. I'm not San Diego, for the Los Angeles Chargers. And it was crazy, man, because he's tall. I didn't know he was that tall. But I saw a black couple in Orange County. Like, you don't see a black couple in Orange County like that, you know? So I'm in Target. I'm like, man, who was that? So then when he came back up, I'm like, oh, shoot, that's Quentin Johnston, wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers from TCU. I remember when he got drafted, I watched the draft. He's on all my fantasy teams. He's on all my fantasy teams and all my leagues because I knew Mike Williams was going to get hurt. Like I said, I like Mike Williams, but I know he's injury prone, and they drafted him for this reason. So, yeah, so I saw him. I didn't say what's up to him because I don't run up on athletes and celebrities. You know, I don't do that. You know, I'm gonna do an episode on that. I'm gonna do an episode on why I don't run up on celebrities, man. But that was just pretty funny. And then last year was funny because when I was in Target, I was in a Target in North Hollywood and I ran into DK Metcalf. And I thought hey Mark, you don't like this. So when I ran into DK Metcalf, I thought DK Metcalf was Jerome. So I know you remember Jerome, right? The singer Jerome, now he goes by J. Rome. He looks just like that dude, kind of, man. But DK Metcalf is like a lot more swole. So when I was in the parking lot, he was walking past me, and I was about to be like, "Hey, what's up, Jerome?" I was like, "Oh, that's DK. Oh, what's up, DK?" But he was in town to shoot that Shay Shay episode, Club Shay Shay episode or whatever. So, yeah. So that was that. Fantasy come true, LOL. Working on the new one. Okay, Mark. I can't wait to see what you are. I can't wait to see what you are cooking up in the lab, man. You know, I can't wait. You know, I'm definitely impressed with the intro right now and the outro as it is, man. So, man, thanks again, man. Appreciate you. What else we got going on, man? So I'm gonna so as y'all know, this is the 99th episode of Trippin with Theobold, and the next one is the 100th episode, man. We did this 100 times. Man, give it up for us, man. We did this 100 times. 100 times. Like it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is like number like I don't know, like 20 something. But we've done this 100 times. You know. So for the 100th episode, I have a couple ideas. If you guys have any ideas of what you want to see, put it in the chat. You know, and I'll take your suggestions, or I'll take your suggestions in consideration. But what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing a mashup episode where I have like where I started, you know, all the old videos with the shitty audio, you know, no intro, no nothing, just conference mic, you know. So I want to kind of do a mashup episode where I kind of look at funny moments and like kind of comment on how bad the audio was and just in general. Cause like I said, this thing is growing, right? This is like the Iron Man suit. Right? When I started this whole thing, I said this is like the Iron Man suit, you know? Like every episode was gonna be different. We just gonna keep upgrading, you know? And that's what we doing. So I'm gonna do a mashup / like it's gonna be like a reflection episode. And in addition to that, I gotta think of something different to do with the number episodes, right? Because as you guys know, there are no 3-digit numbers for NFL jerseys. So I'm thinking about either doing a combination of for every episode, taking the combination of the number and just kind of reintroducing or retying it to another Buffalo Bill, or I could Google a stat and be nerdy with it, you know? So, hey, sky's the limit, man. We gon' see what it do. Anywho, that's that. So let me go ahead and shrink this down because I'm not gonna need the iPhone anymore for that. So let me see what else we got going on, man. So yeah, so today's episode is gonna be an interesting one, man. You know, today's episode is titled "Funny Social Media Behavior." What do I mean by that? I don't mean ha 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 stuff. I mean people acting phony on social media. All right, that's what we're gonna get into today. That's what we're gonna talk about. So here's the thing, man, is there is no right or wrong way to social media. Right? I'm using social media as a verb. There's no right or wrong way to social media. It's just your way. It's like Burger King. Have it your way. If you want a raw patty with stale onions and stale bread, knock yourself out. Have it your way. All right? But like I said, there's no right or wrong way to social media. It's just your way. It's like the song by Clear. There's a right way. There's a wrong way. Make your way the best way. Your way. Okay, whatever. I don't know why I just threw that in there. But nah, social media, man, let's talk about it, man. So let me talk about how I social media. I'm gonna kind of like blend some things in and out, right? So when it comes to social media, let me take a sip of this water right quick though. Sorry, I'm rambling. Got my Albuquerque mug. Anyways, so yeah, so I tend to follow people slow on social media, right? That's what I do. I follow people slow. So what do I mean by that? What I do is when I meet somebody like new or whatever out, um, and they're like, "Hey man, you got social media? Hey man, follow me, man. I'll follow you back." I'm like, "All right." So I don't give them my phone. I just say, "Tell me your handle." You know what I'm saying? I get the information, and then I'll screenshot it, and then I'll go home and I'll determine if I want to follow them. And the reason why I do that is because I don't like to unfollow people, man. I feel like unfollowing people is very bitch made. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better word for it, but I just feel like it's just, I mean, there are times to unfollow people, but I just think that a lot of people unfollow people unnecessarily. Like a lot of people don't realize that there is a thing called a mute button, or you can mute them, right? So, anywho, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to social media. It's just your way, and I'm telling you my way, and I'm gonna say some other things I think are funny, right? So, the funny thing about when you, so let me back up. Like the main reason why, here's the thing. I don't I don't love social media. At times I hate it, but it is what it is. It's here and it's here to stay. And my thing is I I don't know I don't know how to put this. Yeah, I do it my way. You know, I do it my way. People do it their way. Um, but it's just very. I learn a lot from people and how they social media. Right? Like I don't look at what people post. I watch how people respond and interact on social media, because social media will reveal a lot about a person. A lot of people complain that people are being phony on social media, but nah, if you really pay attention, you can learn a lot about them on social media and how they do that. I got this fly. I feel like Walter White in that episode of Breaking Bad where that fly is in here, where that fly is kind of buzzing around. That fly is that fly, man. This fly had to wait until I started doing this podcast. It had to wait right until I started, and now it's buzzing around. I mean, I keep it clean. Well, this is a lab, right? So I don't own this lab, right? So, anyways, but now we can learn a lot from people and how they social media. So one thing I've learned is that either people don't know that you can mute people versus unfollowing them, or they really don't care. But one thing I've learned too is that you kind of learn who your real friends are through social media. Like you learn who your real friends are. Like I'm gonna give you a situation. I'm not gonna name drop. I'm not gonna get messy like that. But for example, I had somebody that I knew for a long time that I, conducted business with, for a long time, and I supported their business, always bought their merch, bought their product. I was always real supportive of what they were doing, and then they were always supportive of what I was doing. They were like, "Yo, man, I see you doing your thing." And, how's Hollywood out there? How's comedy treating you? And, and yeah, like, breaking in is hard. Like trying to get through and break through the cracks is hard, and getting opportunities is hard. Like we would always kind of go back and forth and kind of converse about that. And then he even said, I remember one time, it's funny, he said, he's like, "Yeah, Kevin Hart, man, I don't think he's that funny," right? And I'm not saying this to just name drop. I'm saying this because it serves a purpose later in the story that I'm telling you right now. So lo and behold, I supported his business all the time, and was always like, um like I'm always a fan of people trying to do for themselves. That's how I roll. And I remember uh during the pandemic, I started to do little videos, little sketches. I was trying to, like, I was doing the legwork to get this podcast off the ground. I was coming up with the idea organically. And if you guys remember, I had some things on my channel called Simptuations, where I was talking about my simp stories from back in the day. And lo and behold, man, one day I went to go and message him about something, and I saw that he unfollowed me. Like, he was following me before, but I saw that he unfollowed me. So I was like, man, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, here it is. I've known this dude for like decades, and he snuck unfollowed me. Right. So here's the thing, right? I'm not mad that he unfollowed me at all. Like, I'm not mad at that at all. What kind of like rubbed me the wrong way was the fact that I've known him for so long, and it's like, yo, he could have just told me, right? Like, when I see him, he could have been like, hey, yo, Dre, man, um, your content's really not for me. I really don't rock with it. I see you doing your thing. I'm just letting you know that I'm unfollowing you because I don't want things to get awkward. If he told me that, I'd have been like, man, cool, no big deal. Like, I'm not, like, my content is not for everybody. But this dude unfollow me, and then it's like, wow, it's like awkward, man. So, yeah. So, oh, and then the part about the Kevin Hart part was, he follows this month, like, he follows Kevin Hart. So to me, it's like, you sit up here and tell me that you don't think he's funny or whatever, but yet you following it. So, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to social media. It's just your way, right? So, what else about social media, man? Another thing too that I don't like about social media, man, is that some people only care about getting followers, man. Like, they're just like crackheads when it comes to get, like, man, I got to get this following. Man, I need people to follow me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my content is, but I just need motherfuckers to follow me. I need people to follow me right now. Like, just watch me do nothing. God damn. Like, like, I remember, man, so like, there's some comedians or entertainers or some celebrities or semi-celebrities, they have a good following. Like, they'll do some whole shit, like that's all social thing, right? I feel like social media is training motherfuckers how to be like hoes. You know what I'm saying? It's very hoe-like, right? Like, whenever you make a new friend or you get a new follower, it's like fireworks. Hey, so-and-so followed you. Hey, go wave at them. Wave back. Hey, interact with them. Hey, celebration time, right? But when someone unfollows you, man, it's like on some sneak shit. It's like somebody farted and they just trying to get out the room, It's like, man, don't be a hoe. Just be like, I wish social media kept that same energy, Like, I wish, if someone unfollowed you, they were like, hey, man, so-and-so unfollowed you. He thought your shit wasn't funny or whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, to me, that's whole shit. But some entertainers or comedians, all they care about is their following, man. I remember there's a couple, like, I would say by their numbers, they're celebrities on social media, but I never really heard of them. But they're comedians or whatever, or actors and stuff. And this is like, they'll follow me, and then I'll follow them back. I'll look at some of their content, and then I'll like it, right? And then within like a couple hours, I'll see my count go back down, and I go back to this motherfucking page, and they unfollow me. So I remember that there was this one comedian, and they had like 500, 800,000 followers or whatever, and they follow me. I'm like, who is this? I don't know this. Wow, I don't know this person. So I followed him back, and then within a couple hours, they unfollow me, right? And then like 2 weeks later, they went and they did it again. And that whole process, it went back and forth like 3 times. So I thought to myself, man, if I get this a third time, man, I'm not following, man. So I got it. I just didn't follow back. Like, and here's the thing, right? Is I don't want to like block that person because I don't want to be petty, but it's like that's kind of annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just want me to follow you so you can unfollow me to get your following up. You know what I'm saying? That's whole shit. So, yeah. Yeah, before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. What else can we learn about people's behavior on social media, man? We can learn that you can see like who doesn't want to see you win, right? There are some people out there that don't want to see you win. You know, like you can see that they looked at your story. Like that should be hilarious. It's like you post something and you see all these people looking at your story, but then they don't like it, don't do nothing, don't thumbs up it, whatever. Cool. Oh man, social media is hilarious, man. What else? I wish there was a feature in social media. Hey AI, if you're listening to AI, I want you to hear this, man. AI, if you have any impact on social media, talk to social media to make this happen. I wish that social media apps had a feature or a function to where you could like mask the number of followers that you have, right? Because I want to just get in this zone where I'm in tunnel vision mode where I'm just putting out content. I don't want to care if people unfollow because it's real distracting, right? When you see your count go down, you want to see who unfollowed you, you know? I remember back in the day, there was an app. I even paid for this app to where they even showed you who unfollowed you. But I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. I got bills to pay. But I wish there was like a tunnel vision function to where you could basically like not see how many people are following you. Because when I was doing because during the pandemic, when I was doing all the sketches and all my little content I was trying to put out there, like, you know what the frustrating thing was? Like, you know what really was really frustrating? Is here it is, man. I would write out a sketch, write that shit out, find where the jokes were at, and then I would have to go and clean up, make the set right, shoot different angles, get all the possible shots that I wanted, you know, get potential shots that I knew that I may or may not use. And I did all this work, and then once you shoot it, then you got to edit it. Then you got to crop it and get it right for each of the right other social media things. Then you post that bitch on Instagram, man. And then every time I did a post, like it's like right when I posted it, I would lose 5 followers. It's like people don't want to see you succeed. It's like a lot of people are cool with you doing nothing on social media, right? Like you got that crowd, right? Where you got that, but you got those group of people where like, as long as you like, they're watching other people do nothing. Like their whole thing is, look, as long as you're not doing nothing, I'll be your friend. I'll follow you. I want to follow you doing nothing. As long as you're inactive, I'll just follow you. But the moment you post something and you trying to get out the bucket and you trying to be successful, man, he's trying to be successful. Fuck him, right? That's what I felt, man. Like I would shoot these sketches, man, and shoot them. I had a notebook full of sketches, man, stuff I shot, stuff that I was gonna do. You know, and then you do all this work. You shoot, reshoot, shoot, write, chop up, edit, line up, and then produce to get the right cropping so it's on the right social media. You do all this work just to post it. And the minute you post it, you lose 5 followers, man. So that's why I'm saying I wish there was I wish there was like a tunnel vision function to where you could just be like, you know, I don't care how many people are following me. I don't care who I'm following. I just want to put my shit out here. Right. And I want to just do that for like a couple months. And then if I'm down to 200 followers when I had 2,000, cool. I know these 200 people rock with me. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a suggestion. You know, that's just how I work. And that's how I think. Another funny thing on social media, man, is you got those kind of people out there that want to comment on your shit. Like they want to one up your shit. I call them the one-uppers, right? Like no matter what you post, they trying to outdo you, right? Like if you post something, they'll try to say something funnier or respond with something funnier. And that's cool if that's what people do. But what to me is funny is when people that do that don't even acknowledge your shit. Like when they don't react to your shit and they just post on your shit, that shit to me is like, I'm real petty like that, man. It's so here's what I'll do, right? If I post something and it gets likes or whatever, it does what it does. If someone comments on it and they don't like thumbs up it or like laugh at it or whatever, and they try to one up my shit, I'll just ignore their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be really funny for me to like want to respond to it at that point. You know what I'm saying? Or if other people are like, yo, that's funny, I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll just give it a like. But a lot of people, man, that shit is hilarious, man. Like the whole thing is they're trying to outdo you, but they were too lazy to put their own shit up. You know, like that shit is hilarious to me. Anyways, yeah, we talking about social media pettiness or learning about other people through social media. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, like I said, man, like in social media, man, it's like I feel like when you watch how people interact on social media, it kind of tells you everything you need to know about them, you know? Like I remember I did this, I remember like if someone has like a lot of followers, like they have like over 1 million followers, like they just think that they're this, that, and the third, you know? Like they act like those platinum members in Quickstar and shit. Like I don't know if you guys know about Quickstar, but it's like part of Amway where it's like a multi-level marketing scheme joint or whatever. And basically if you got in early enough to where you got enough people, if you got enough people up underneath you and they sold your shit and then you took a cut of what they made, you would get bumped up into either like gold, silver, platinum, or emerald, right? And I met an Emerald Club member. My dad knew an Emerald Club member from Quickstar, and he was just real arrogant. He was like, yeah, like just the way he would just act. It was like, yeah, it was weird. It was like, yeah, I'm better than you, and I'm gonna look like I'm showing you how to get to where I'm gonna, or I'm looking like I'm gonna act like I'm showing you how to get to where I am, but I really don't want you to compete with me. So I'm not gonna tell you everything you need to know. So it was real weird, you know. Like I remember that Quickstar dude was full of shit. He came to the house, and my dad was like, he's an Emerald Club member. My dad was like, real, like, yo, Dre, man, be real respectful, man. He's an Emerald Club member. You gotta oh. So I was like, okay. So when you're an Emerald Club, it means that you make $1 million a year, right? So I was like, yo, you make $1 million a year, man. Let me see. I'm like, if you make $1 million a year, let's see the stub. And the guy was like, I'm not. My dad was like, Dre, no, don't. I'm like, Dad, I'm like, look, man, game recognized game. If this dude really got it, he should be able to show you if he's trying to put you on. Not to say that he's gonna give you his money, but it's just, yo, like, to me, this could all be bullshit. So, anyways, just the attitude and just the stakes at which people interact with each other based on following or number or following size is funny. Like I remember I did a comedy show at this one spot, and there was one social media guy there, and he had like over 1 million like followers, right? So I remember the promoter of the show, it was funny, right? Like whenever I see, so anytime I'm on a comedy show and if I get a flyer, I put it out and I promote it, right? But I remember I like to also see how other people on the show, I like to see how they promote so I can get ideas for how I can, you know, help promote the show to help have people come out. So I remember the show was coming up and there was like nobody posted anything about the show. Like nobody posted a flyer or anything. But the promoter got on me. Like I got hit up and they were like, dude, why aren't you promoting the show? I'm like, oh, my bad. You know, I got stuff going on, but I'm thinking to myself, why are you just getting on me? There's like 5 other people on the show. Like, why aren't they promoting? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and I promoted it, but I saw that the person that had like over 1 million like followers, they didn't post anything on the show, right? Like they didn't post anything. So I could kind of see that there was like a reverence with respect to, oh, this person has all these followers. We have to just, because they assume that if he has 1 million followers, he's gonna just be like the Pied Piper and just bring in 1 million people or just flood the show up. But anyways, this dude went up before me, and his set was straight cheeks. It was cheeks, I'm like, yo, this. I was like, yo, with 1 million followers, over 1 million followers. I'm like, and this ain't stand up, like, you know what I'm saying? So the audience was like, they were there like waiting on this dude to go up, and he went up there and took a L. Then I went up there and just got him with some basic joke structure jokes, got laughs, and it was like, okay, boom, this is what it is, I'm not saying that the brother can't get better or can't get funnier or whatever, but I looked at that moment. I'm like, yo, his bark was bigger than his bite. So, I don't know. It's just real funny to see how people react around people that have a huge following. Like, I'm not really I really don't care how many like followers you have, like if you got 1 million, if you got 2,000, 'cause look, I've seen people with like hundreds of followers and they're like the best at what they do. Like no one can touch what they do. And I've seen people with like millions of followers that ain't got really nothing to offer, not to be mean. It's just, I look at the end result. So, anywho, this is not me hating on people on social media. I'm just telling you what I see. Like I said, I like to use social media to study people, because you like come on, Dre. Because like I said, you can learn a lot from just watching how people interact on social media, what else, man? Like I said, I don't love it. At times I hate it, but I know you got to do it, which is why I just say, you know what, let me go ahead and just do this shit. It's like sweet peas, right? Like I can't stand sweet peas. I remember one time my my grandma and my aunt took me out to, we had to go run some errands, and I was hungry and I said I wanted some McDonald's. So I got some McDonald's, and my Aunt Lou kept the McDonald's up front. She was like, no, Andre, we're going to wait till you go home because you got to eat some veggies. I'm like, why can't I'm like veggies? I'm like, I'm hungry right now. I mean, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't, I'm like, man, we could have went home and made something, like whatever. So we get home, and my Aunt Lou put the McDonald's on top of the refrigerator, right? Because back then I'm still short now, but back then I was like little, and I couldn't get to the top of the fridge. And she got to the stove and boiled up that hot water, and threw them sweet peas in there, and put a whole big ass bowl of sweet peas in front of me. And she's like, now, Andre, if you want your McDonald's, you're going to have to eat your sweet peas. So I sat there, man, and looked at them sweet peas, tasted one, almost threw up. My grandma came in and was like, Andre, if there's anything you don't like to do in life, or is there something that you don't want to do in life, a lot of times it's best if you just hold your nose and just shove it down. That's what I did. I shoved them sweet peas down, and I tried to grab them fries, but the fries were cold. Fries were stale. But moral of the story is with social media, it's like I look at this shit like vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do that shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting out content. It may be hit or miss, but I'm putting it out there because ain't nobody gonna stop me but me. Let me see who's commenting on this joint, right? Because Aunt Lou. Yeah, man. Aunt Lou. Aunt Addie Lou. What we call her Aunt Lou. R.I.P. Aunt Lou. What else we got going on, man? So that's pretty much it for the social media stuff. You know what I'm saying? What are some of your social media behaviors? Feel free to put it in the chat, and maybe when we circle back around, I'll bring it up and we'll talk about it again. But for right now, we are going to move on to the sports section of the show. We're going to talk some sports, then talk some fantasy. But real quick, man, R.I.P. Dick Butkus. He was a legendary a legendary Chicago Bears linebacker. passed away on Thursday, which is crazy. He passed away right before the game, right before the Commanders and Bears game. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And, man, what's going on with Jimmy Butler, man? Jimmy Butler, man, this dude is, I don't know, man. My man showed up to the media day looking like Candace Owens. I'm like, dude, if you don't go ahead somewhere, man. Like, but anyways, man, he's trying to be silly. He's trying to make jokes, but really he's he's whining about his team not being good enough to win the finals, right? So, I don't know. It's like you should probably just try to get on the team that already got the pieces just to get the chip. You know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to, like, if you're at the tail end of your career and they're not trying to give you pieces to help you win, then you got to go to where the action is, you know? So, anywho, that's that. Cooper Kupp is coming off of IR. He's coming back week 5. So, it's going to be interesting. If I'm the Rams, if I'm the GM of the Rams, I'm looking to trade Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I said it. I'm looking to trade Cooper Kupp. Not saying that Cooper Kupp's not great. The thing is Puka Anuka or Puka Acuna, Puka Anuka, sorry. Puka Anuka and Cooper Kupp are like the same wide receiver type. Like they're the same receiver. Like they run the same routes and do the same shit. So why are you gonna pay double? Or why are you gonna pay for 2 when you can basically trade 1 to get the value to help you build other pieces of your team, right? I'm very transactional when it comes to football. I look at what you got, what can you sell, and what can you get for it? How can you upgrade, right? Like the Rams got issues at corner, I think. And they already got a running back, so I mean they could always, like, you know, I'm looking at if you have extra of something on a football team or on a team, you need to try to be trading that so you can improve your overall team. So to me, with Cooper Kupp, it's like you're already paying him. He's injury prone. He's probably on the back end of his career. You got a young Puka Anuka, right? It's like, why not? You know, because Puka is still on his rookie deal. Like he's a rookie this year, so he got 4 years where you can get work out of that dude, man. So why not trade Cooper Kupp, get some pieces for you weak? Because you know there's gonna be some teams out there that need a receiver, right? Now before last night, where the Bears, you know, where DJ Moore went off. You could make the case where the Bears could have made a trade, man, or the Rams could have made a deal with the Bears to get some picks for Cooper Kupp. But anywho, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. You know, if they don't trade Cooper Kupp or trade one of those receivers, then that's not really a good front office. Like they're there to. That's not being a good GM. Is all I'm trying to say. Then other news, basketball news, you know that Drew Holiday got traded from the Bucks to the Blazers, and then Blazers, I think, either waived him or they traded him to the Celtics. So me and comedian Andre Bailey, we had a debate last night, and we made a bet, right? So I think the Bucks messed up in their trade, right? Like I think getting Dame is dope, but the real person they had to really, like, however they had to do it, if it was picks, players, whatever, they had to ship Chris Middleton, right? If they would have shipped Chris Middleton and picks and whoever else to get Drew Holiday, that would have been a dope. I mean, to get Dame, that would have been a dope squad to have Dame Lillard, Drew Holiday, Giannis. That would have been unstoppable because Drew Holiday plays deep. Like his backcourt defense is like top tier. Like not only will you be able to score, but you'll be able to stop people getting buckets. So right now they built to play horse. Right? That's what they built for. The Bucks right now are built to play horse. So it's going to be a lot of shot trading back and forth with no defense. So Andre was trying to tell me that you can't have 2 point guards on the floor, and he was like, they gonna win the chip. I was like, nah, they ain't winning no chip. Well, he said, how much you want to bet? He said, put your mouth where your money is. I was like, all right. So we settled on 20 push-ups. So Bucks win the finals. I got 20 push-ups. And then to add the bet, to up the ante, I told him, I said, the team that I think can go to the finals, can be in the finals this year is OKC. Think about it. He was like, man, they're not going to get out the first round. I was like, man, let's shake on it. I said, all right. So if OKC makes it out the first round of the playoffs, Andre owes me 20 push-ups. If they don't make it out the first round, I got 40 push-ups total from the last bet. So it's 20 plus 20 is 40. Y'all can do the math. Y'all smart, right? So it is what it is. Anywho, man, shout out to my comedian bro, Mr. BT Kingsley. I wish I took a picture of it, but I don't have. I'm going to get a picture of it. But he made a championship strap or belt for our Jumpers and Jokes basketball fantasy league. It's a dope belt, man. It's white. Got a picture of him on the side. I got a picture of Thanos on the side. It's all about that balance, right? One of the things we make fun of is, it's all about balance, right? You want to have that. I can't balance this pen on my finger, but you get the point, right? Right? Having a good fantasy team is about having balance. So, was a dope, like the main emblem piece of the belt is a basketball with the it's like a purple, white and green ball, and it has ha 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 all throughout the basketball, like the Joker ha ha ha, because it's called Jumpers and Jokes. Dope belt, man. It's gonna look good on my dresser. Yeah, it's gonna be right here. Well, not my dresser, but when I get home, because I'm in this virtual space. But shout out to BT for doing that. Let's talk about last night, right? So if you guys follow me on social media, I started making crazy posts, right? I sound crazy, but there's a method to my madness, right? There's a method to what I'm doing. All right. So I'm just gonna pull this up right quick. Let me pull up my line star right quick. All right, here we go. Line star. Here we go. Let me pull up my line star. Pop this up. And then boom, right? So here we go. Let me actually do that. I want to show y'all that. No, I don't think I want to show you guys this. Let me do this right quick. Because I don't want to be punching in data into this. I just want to actually show y'all something right quick. Is that what I want to show y'all? I know I had it. Yes, this is it. All right. This is what I want to show you guys right here. All right, so here's some screenshots. So what you are looking at is why is it? I feel like there's more. Okay, you're looking at the Thursday night games for you're looking at the perfect lineups for the Thursday night games. Right? Was that Monday night? Oh, no, it's Monday night. My bad. Come on, Dre. Let me shut this off right quick. I'm trying to show y'all. Because when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, I see what you're doing. That Thursday night. Nope. Don't want that. Wow, I must have. Here we go. This is what I want to show y'all. There it is. Okay. Okay. Now we cooking. Okay, my bad, y'all. Sorry about that. This is what I want to show y'all right here. All right. So what you're looking at is you're looking at the perfect lineups for the Thursday night football games. Right. So I looked at a couple things. I'm gonna tell you guys how I built my lineup. Right. So basically, one thing I look at is I look at the amount of money spent. Right. So if you look at the top right, you'll see that 47,500. That was the total salary spent on players. Right. If you know anything about Captain Showdown mode, basically you got to pick 6 players. You have to pick at least one player off another team. So you can't pick all your players from one team. You have to stay within the budget. And for the captain, you have to spend 1.5 times the amount of salary to get 1.5 times the amount of points, right? So for example, Pat Mahomes was the captain for the Thursday night game that they lost on opening night, right? And then if you go to the next Thursday night game, it was $49,800 that was spent. Then you look at the next game, it was $49,600 spent. And then last week was $50,000 spent of salary, right? So what I saw was the first thing I looked at was, damn, the winning lineups are spending damn near all the money, right? So when I pick a lineup, I was looking to basically try to spend up as much money as possible, staying between, anywhere between $47,500 and $50,000, right? That was the first thing I did. Then I know I told y'all don't use spreadsheets. Spreadsheets, once you break out a spreadsheet, you're going to lose. But when you break out a spreadsheet, don't crunch numbers with it, right? So I wasn't crunching numbers. I did it like just to kind of get the lay of the land, So I look for trends, right? I'm the kind of person where I'm going to follow a trend until it stops, right? So if you look at this trend here, right? The one trend I saw was there was always one QB that was always in the lineup, right? See, like right here, there was always one quarterback in the lineup, right? So week 1, Pat Mahomes and Jared Goff made it. Week 2, Kirk Cousins, that was it. Week 3, Brock Purdy. And then week 4, it was Jordan Love, right? So I get real deep into this shit, right? Like I looked at the percent ownership. I looked at the ratio of how much money was spent. I look at the difference. I look at all that shit. But to stay high level, because I know a lot of y'all don't like to think, right? But this is me up here spoon feeding y'all. All right. So basically what I deduced from last night, you guys can go back and check for yourselves, But basically, when I made a post about that, I said I'm about that 9-7 life, right? I said I'm about that 9-7 life in my post. And people were like, yo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, right? If you look at the quarterbacks that were in the perfect lineup, their salary was in the $9,000 range, and their percent ownership was 70% ish, right? So I just kind of chopped it all down and just said 9-7 life, right? Meaning $9,000, 70% ownership, right? There was always one quarterback that had that 9-70 relationship, right? And that night, or last night's game, let's pull it up right quick. You look at Mr. Sam Howell, right? Sam Howell, if you look, he was $9,400 and his percent ownership projection was 71.3%, right? So I said in all my lineups, I'm throwing Sam Howell in the joint. And if you look at the perfect lineup, look at God. Sam Howell was in the perfect lineup, right? So that was one. And then the other one was which messed me up. This one didn't actually. No, he got in there. He got in there late. It was funny how he got in there. But the second trend was I looked at the highest projected ownership for a wide receiver, right? If you go back and do your research, you guys can. I'm not going to do it up here for you, but I will show you this. When you go to wide receivers and you sort based off of you sort based off of the projected ownership. Curtis Samuel was number one. And if you go back and do this for all the other weeks, same thing. So that's why I said Curtis Samuel. I saw in all my lineups, I played Curtis Samuel and I played Sam Howell. And look at that. Sam Howell and Curtis Samuel both were in the perfect lineup, right? But that's kind of how I move to build my lineups and stuff, you know. I don't look at the numbers per se. I look at just what positions are making it and what salary. So when I pick my line, so basically at first I was gonna do something dumb, right? I was gonna well, I mean all this shit is dumb, but I was gonna do something dumb, man. Like I was gonna do 2 lineups, $15 a piece for a chance at winning $500,000. But I said to myself, nah, Dre, don't do that. You got to build slow. You know, you got to build slow, right? So I went ahead and I played one lineup at 15. Then I put in another 15, I think it was, of money that I already had. It's money that has won, right? Because I only play with house money here, right? I don't play with my money. I play with house money. So, anyways, I put 15 on one entry for a chance at winning $500,000, and then I put in 30 for a chance. Basically, I did 10 $3 lineups for a chance to win. I think the pot was like 40,000. I think, right? So I'm like, shit, I'll take 40,000. I'll take 40 racks, and I did that. And I liked how I played it, right? So what I did was I had my main lineup, like my $15 lineup was the one I'm like, okay, this is the one I think is gonna win. But then I do basically I took those 10 other lineups and I split them in half. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take my $15 lineup and I'm gonna play derivatives of that lineup, right? I'm gonna play different variations of that lineup to where I can get that dollar amount that I wanted, right? So I basically was playing around with different players and coming up with combinations to damn near use up all the salary. And then what I did was, here's what I did too, right? If you go back and look at, let me just show y'all in the photos right quick. If you go back to the perfect lineups for each week, what I did was, I looked at the positions that the captains that won, right? So for example, Pat Mahomes, you had DeAndre Swift at RB2, Theobold Samuel, wide receiver 1, David Montgomery, running back 2. You know, so what I did was I played lineups where for the remaining 5 lineups, I played. I already had Sam Howell for those 5, right? So he was my captain for all those. But then I did one where I had Justin Fields as my captain. I did one where I had Roshan Johnson as my lineup because he's an RB2, so I had him as a captain. I had another one where I had Antonio Gibson as my RB2 captain. And then for Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 1, I had another lineup where I had DJ Moore as the captain who won the whole lineup because DJ Moore went off that night. And then I had another one where I had Terry McLaurin as the captain, right? So I did all those with the hope that I could crack that 40,000. But all I won was $9. I won a hot 9, right? So but hey, at least I'm not in the black, or I'm in the black because black is green. So so I won $9 off that joint. My strategy for this weekend is I'm gonna be a fan during that Bills Jaguars game. I'm gonna be a fan, and I already know who I'm gonna play already for that one. But I'm really liking the Monday night, Sunday night games because those give you the best opportunity to cash in, because all you gotta do is pick 6 players, right? That Millie Maker is that. Come on, Dre. That Millie Maker is for rich people. You know what I'm saying? Because that Millie Maker, you put up 20, but you got to pick 8 players across like all the games possible. You know, so I take a stab at that. I'm gonna take a stab at it, but I like to play those Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games because those give me the best odds at like winning. So take from that what you will. It is what it is. What else we got? Oh yeah, real quick. In my pick'em league, right? In my pick'em league, I actually had the Commanders winning that game, but right when I saw that Dick Buckus passed away, I swapped back and picked the Bears. I'm like, yo, the Bears got to win this game. Like, you can't, like, it's a gut check, right? Like, you can't have your iconic figure for your franchise pass away and you don't win on the day that he passes. You know what I mean? So I switched it around. I saw that energy. Bears got it done. I'm in second place right now in my pick'em league, but man, in my other fantasy leagues right now, DJ Moore, man, I got killed by DJ Moore, man. DJ Moore, man, that dude went off. He went ham. Dude did a hat trick, man. 3 touchdowns, 250 yards receiving. So I got a lot of ground to cover, but we gonna get there. Somehow, some way, we gonna get there. But now, man, before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. And that about concludes the show. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the feedback. Appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, one other thing I'm working on. I'm not gonna do it for the 100th episode, but I should have planned better, but I didn't. You know, but this year is gonna be the merch year. We're gonna have merch. Merch is coming. We're gonna have Trippin with Theobold mugs, Trippin with Theobold dad hats. I'm working on that. That's something that I want to do before the end of the year. So hopefully one episode you'll see me sipping some water out of a Trippin with Theobold mug. If you see it, you can achieve it. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm also working on having guests. I'm playing around with Yardstream or StreamYard, whatever it is. I think it's a StreamYard. I'm playing around with StreamYard and some other things, but I'm going to work on having guests. I think my goal for next year is this year I might do a trial run, but then next year I want to have at least one guest a month, right? So that's going to be my goal for next year, to have at least one guest a month. You know, once I figure all this other stuff out, that I have to make all the magic happen and make it all work. But we're going to have one monthly guest next year. We're going to have merch. But next episode 100 is going to be, I think it's going to be a mashup episode, man. It's going to be something, because I want to show where I came from and where I'm at, and where I can go. So, hey man, I thank y'all for tuning in to the 99th episode of Trippin with Theobold. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Appreciate y'all. So without further ado, that's all, folks. I'm out of here. Peace. Yep. Trippin with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin. Yep. Trippin. Trippin. Trippin with Theobold.
Trippin with Theobold.